this green hydrogen mission which has been approved by the cabinet, that is really going to provide a great fillip to the use of green hydrogen in the industrial sector specifically, I would say. See, presently almost 6 billion tons of hydrogen is already being used in the industrial sector, but this is all grey hydrogen which is made from natural gas from the steam methane reforming process. So if we are going to move towards green hydrogen, any shift from this grey hydrogen to green hydrogen is definitely going to help India reduce its dependence on fossil fuels. The hydrogen which is presently being used in the industry is primarily in the refinery sector. It is being used in the presently used in the manufacture of ammonia, and both these sectors are going to play a crucial role as we move towards the use of green hydrogen in the industry sector. In addition, I would say I think the steel sector, which is going to play a major role. Presently, natural gas is not being used. No hydrogen is being used in the steel sector, but I think moving forward, if we have to decarbonize the steel sector, hydrogen-based direct reduction of R&D RI route is going to play a major role. The cabinet approval very clearly lists also, I think, the reduction of the order of, I think, around 1 lakh crore of rupees by 2030, which we are talking about. So any reduction in the fossil fuels of that level is definitely going to be a big boost for a country like India. Yeah, we had come out with a detailed report on the potential role of hydrogen, potential role of green hydrogen in India in 2020, which was launched by the then Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog, Dr. Rajiv Kumar. And in that report itself, we had projected that the production of green hydrogen would increase significantly in the coming years and decades. In fact, we had talked about up to 2050, what would be the production of green hydrogen likely in India, somewhere around increasing 5-fold from the present level of 6 billion tons to around 28 to 30 million tons. And we had also mentioned in our report at that time that I think to ensure that India takes the benefit of the Make in India program, there is a need to have some kind of a PLI scheme, some kind of incentive scheme for the manufacture of electrolyzers in the country, so that we develop this industry right at this stage, at an early stage when we are moving towards greener fuel. So this whole site program which we are having, which has been projected in the green hydrogen mission by the cabinet, it talks about both providing incentives for electrolyzer manufacturing, but also providing incentives for use of hydrogen, for the production of hydrogen. So it's both a supply driven system as well as a demand creation for green hydrogen on both the sides. See, of course, the biggest challenge today, as we see, I think TERI has talked to many players. I think the industry sectors, whether it is the steel industry or any other sector, I think the biggest challenge today is the cost of green hydrogen today. So I think this whole program of site where they are going to incentivize the production of green hydrogen, that is going to help reduce the cost for it. So this is the biggest challenge today in terms of the cost of the green hydrogen today. And second, of course, is the issue of technology. For this, one, of course, is technology has to be seen from both perspectives. One is in terms of the production of green hydrogen, but I think the biggest challenge also is, which is sometimes overlooked, is the technology for the use of this hydrogen in the new industries which are going to come up, which are going to use that. So integration of green hydrogen in the existing plants or in the new plants which are going to come up. So cost, availability of technology, and of course, I think the other issues related to the regulatory setup, of which I guess I think the ministry is already making efforts in terms of setting up the proper regulatory standards for this. Various departments are already working on it, and of course the issue of skill sets. So this will be a completely new setup for many of the sectors which are going to start using hydrogen. Of course, in sectors like petrochemicals or refineries, In fertilizers, they already use hydrogen to a certain extent, so they do have the skill sets. But I think in newer sectors like steel, or maybe even in the transport sector, if we are going to look at the use of fuel cell based vehicles for heavy transport, there again I think the issues of skill sets and the regulatory approvals and all those kind of things will be very, very important.